Hey everybody, it's Miles here, and today I'm going to show you of how to do proportional versus non-proportional relationships with graphs. Now, I don't want to do it with tables because it might be a little tricky for me. So, I want to do a video only with the graphs, not the graphs and the tables. So yeah, again, I really wanted to do it only with the graphs, not the tables. Because the graphs might seem a little bit easier for me than the tables. So yeah, I'm just being honest. I don't really wanted to do the tables because again, it might be a little tricky for me. But anyways, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do proportional versus non-proportional relationships with graphs. Okay? Okay. Here's number one. This graph asks us whether it's proportional or non-proportional. So a proportional relationship means that it passes through the origin, which is 0, 0. A non-proportional relationship means that it doesn't pass the origin. So I'm going to say this again. A proportional relationship means that it passes the origin, which is 0, 0. And a non-proportional relationship means that it doesn't pass the origin. So let's take a look at number one. We got to figure out whether this is proportional or non-proportional. Well, one, it goes in a straight line. And two, we know that the origin is right there, and we know that it passes it. And we know that it goes through 0, 0. So, this means that this is proportional. Because it goes in a straight line, it passes through the origin, and it goes through 0, 0. So it has to pass through the origin. And it has to go through 0, 0. That's the main point of a proportional relationship. So yeah, it has to go through a straight line, it has to go through 0, 0, and it has to pass through the origin. Okay, moving on to number two. Okay, number two asks us whether it's proportional or non-proportional. Now, we know that the line's off of the origin. So yeah, it doesn't go through a straight line. It doesn't go through 0, 0, and it doesn't pass through the origin. So, for number two, we're going to put non-proportional. Non-proportional is the answer for number two because it is off through the origin. It doesn't pass it. It's not going through 0, 0, and it's not going in a straight line. It's going in a different direction or something. So yeah, 2 is non-proportional. It's not proportional. So yeah, that's 2. 3, let's take a look at 3. Okay, 3, proportional or non-proportional. Now, we know that the arrow's off of the origin, and we do know that. We know that it doesn't go through 0, 0, and we know that it's not going in a straight line. So yeah, it is not going through 0, 0. It's not passing the origin. It is not going in a straight line, and it's just not doing it. So what we're gonna put is non-proportional for number 3. Non-proportional is the answer for number 3 because it's not going in a straight line. It's not going through 0, 0. It's not passing through the origin, and yeah, it's not proportional. So it has to go through a straight line, it has to go through 0, 0, and it has to pass the origin. That's the main point of proportional relationships. So yeah, that's number 3. 3 is non-proportional. The graph is not proportional. Okay, moving on to number 4. Okay, proportional or non-proportional. 4 is proportional or non-proportional. Now, we know that it's off. It's not passing through the origin. It's like going in a different way. So yeah, it's not passing the origin. It's not going through 0, 0, and it's not in a straight line. So for 4, it is non-proportional because It's not going in a straight line. It's not going through 0, 0, and it's not passing through the origin. It has to. It has to go through 0, 0. It has to pass the origin, and it has to be in a straight line. So yeah, it's going off, and it's going in a different way. So it's not proportional. And that's number 4. Okay, 5. Let's take a look at 5. It's either proportional or non-proportional. Well, it is in the origin, and it passes it. It's going in a straight line, and it goes through 0, 0. So yeah, we know that it's in the origin. We know that it's in the origin. We know that it passes it. We know that it goes through 0, 0 because it's in the origin. And we know that it goes in a straight line. So for that, I'm going to put proportional. Because, alright. I'm going to explain of why it's proportional. So for 5, it is proportional because it's passing through the origin. Well, the arrow's like a little bit off, but that's okay. It's still in the origin. It passes it. It goes through 0, 0, and it goes in a straight line. So yeah, it's in the origin. It passes it. So yeah, it goes through 0, 0, it goes in a straight line, and it passes through the origin. Okay, moving on to number 6. Alright, now, let's take a look at number 6. Okay, we need to know whether this graph for number 6 is proportional or non-proportional. So, let's take a look at the line here. Let's take a look at the arrow. So we know that it goes through the origin. We know that it passes it. We know that it's in a straight. We know that's in a straight line, and we know that it goes through 0, 0. So this means that it's proportional. Give me 1 second, please. There we go. Okay, 6 is proportional because we know it's in the origin, right? It passes through the origin, it goes in a straight line, and it goes through 0, 0. So yeah, 6 is proportional because it's in the origin, right? It's in the origin. It passes it. Okay. All right, that's number 6. 7. Ooh. So we know that it's not going to be proportional for number 7. Okay. The reason why I put let me get my camera focused. There we go. Okay. The reason why 7 is not proportional, it's because it's not passing through the origin. It's not going in a straight line, and it's not going through 0, 0. So it's like right here, then here. So yeah, the origin is in the middle. The origin's in the middle. The origin is not up here. It's in the middle. So yeah, the origin's in the middle. The origin's not here. It's going in like a different way or something like that. So yeah, 7 is not proportional because the origin's in the middle and it doesn't pass it. And we know that it doesn't go through a straight line and it's not going through 0, 0. So 7 is not proportional. Okay. Moving on to the last one. Okay, here's the last one for the proportional relationships with graphs. Okay. So we need to know whether this graph is proportional or non-proportional. So let's take a look at the arrow. So we know that it goes through the origin, right? That's because the origin's in the middle. So yeah, we know that it goes through the origin, and it's going in a straight line, and it's going through 0, 0. So this means that number 8 is proportional because it passes through the origin, it goes through a straight line, and it goes through 0, 0. So yeah, 8 is proportional. It passes through the origin, it goes through 0, 0, and it goes in a straight line. So yeah, that is proportional. And that is how you do... Sorry about that. And that is how you do proportional versus non-proportional relationships with graphs. We need to know that it needs to pass through the origin. We need to know that it has to be in a straight line. And we need to know that it goes through 0, 0.